Sunshine Struggle. The seasons of Mother Nature's children once upon a time, in a magical realm where the world's weather was controlled by a wise and ancient spirit named Mother Nature, there was a beautiful, sparkling palace. This palace was where Mother Nature lived with her many children, each of whom had unique and special powers over the Earth's seasons and weather. Although Mother Nature loved all her children dearly, they could be quite a handful. As long as they listened to her, everything in the world ran smoothly. But when they misbehaved or bickered, the world would slip into chaos. Her eldest daughter, Sunshine, was the most responsible of them all. She was a kind, gentle girl who always obeyed her mother and made sure that everything stayed bright and warm. Wherever Sunshine went, the world was filled with happiness, and Mother Nature often relied on her to keep things peaceful. Sunshine's younger sisters, Southwind and Westwind, were also quite helpful. They brought gentle breezes and warmth that people welcomed after the cold seasons. But then there was Lightning, Sunshine's mischievous twin brother. He was as quick as a flash and loved causing trouble with his crackling bolts. His twin, Thunder, wasn't much better. Thunder's roars were loud and made the whole world shake. Together, they were always getting into trouble, playing pranks on their siblings. Snow, the youngest of the girls, was calm and cool, with a character as chilly as the flakes she sprinkled across the land. Despite her coldness, people always admired the beautiful blankets of white she left behind. Then there was Rain, who always seemed to be crying. He couldn't help it, his tears flowed endlessly, and sometimes he flooded the rivers and fields. Eastwind was the grumpiest of them all, always howling angrily as he blew bitter winds across the land. Thunder and Hail constantly grumbled and raged, while Northwind, the biggest and strongest of all the boys, was known for making such a racket that everyone ran from him. Still, his powerful gusts of wind could sweep away bad weather and clean up the messes his brothers made, so he was often more helpful than he appeared. One crisp November day, after working hard all summer and fall, Mother Nature felt tired. "Dear children," she said, her voice soft but firm, "I am going to take a long nap. I've finished my tasks for the year, and I need my rest. Be good, do your work faithfully, and wake me up in March when it's time for spring." Sunshine, being the most responsible, smiled sweetly and kissed her mother's cheek. "Yes, Mama. Don't worry. I'll keep the children busy, and I'll make sure the boys stay calm. Sleep well, and I'll wake you when it's time for spring." With that, Mother Nature put on her cozy nightcap and drifted off to sleep. Sunshine, ever the diligent daughter, began her work immediately, spinning rays of sunlight, ensuring there would be plenty of warmth ready for the next summer. But as soon as Mother Nature's gentle snores filled the palace, the mischief began. "I'm going to cry as much as I want," Rain declared, wiping his eyes as he prepared for one of his endless sobbing fits. And sure enough, streams of tears began to pour down from the sky, soaking the earth. "I'll help you," grumbled Eastwind, puffing out his cheeks and sending icy blasts of wind across the land. The combination of Rain's tears and Eastwind's cold breath made the world miserable. People shivered, caught colds, and struggled through thick fog and muddy streets. Sunshine begged her brothers to stop and give her a chance to shine, but they wouldn't listen. "November is being so stubborn this year," the townspeople muttered. Just when things seemed bleak, the world heard a fierce, booming voice. It was Northwind. He had returned from his travels in Iceland, bringing with him Snow, his soft-spoken but frosty sister. The moment Northwind let out one of his loud gusts, Eastwind and Rain scattered, frightened by his powerful presence. "What a mess they've made," Northwind huffed. "But don't worry, we'll clean it up before Christmas." With his strong, brisk winds, Northwind dried up the soggy earth, blew away the fog, and made room for Snow to lay down her delicate, shimmering blankets. In just a few days, the world was transformed into a winter wonderland, ready for the upcoming holidays. Sunshine was delighted and immediately set to work, brightening the icy trees so that they sparkled like diamonds. The snow glittered like silver under her warmth, and the blue sky shone brightly above. The townspeople were overjoyed, ringing bells and playing in the snow, while children slid down hills and threw snowballs. "The Christmas holiday will be wonderful if I can keep those naughty boys in check," Sunshine said with a sigh. To avoid any mischief, she cleverly gave Rain and Eastwind pastries filled with poppy seeds, which made them so sleepy they couldn't keep their eyes open. "Sleep tight, brothers." Sunshine giggled as they snored away. Snow had her fun, too, dropping delicate snowflakes from the sky. But she was so gentle and sweet that no one minded. Northwind, surprisingly, remained calm, sending only cool breezes that kept everyone's cheeks rosy and their hearts warm. Everything was peaceful until January, when a sudden thaw arrived. Sunshine had been so happy that she smiled a little too warmly, and the snow began to melt. Meanwhile, Rain and Eastwind had woken from their nap, furious that they had been tricked. "We'll show her," they growled. "We'll make the world pay for putting us to sleep with those poppy seed cakes." They called upon Hail, who joined in their mischief. Together, the three brothers unleashed their fury on the world. Rain dumped buckets of water from the sky, flooding rivers and towns. The snow melted from the hills, turning the fields into muddy swamps. Hail sent down his hard, icy stones, battering homes and crops, while Eastwind howled angrily, bringing cold, bitter winds that made everything even worse. Poor Sunshine was at her wits' end. She didn't want to wake Mother Nature early, so she tried her best to calm her brothers down. Thankfully, Westwind, one of the gentler siblings, came to her aid. While Sunshine shone brightly, making Rain slow his tears, Westwind tugged at the weather vanes, pulling Eastwind's icy blasts away. Eastwind, tired from all his howling, eventually gave up, allowing Westwind's soft breezes to soothe the world once more. By the time March arrived, the earth was looking much better. Sunshine, exhausted but proud, said to her siblings, "Let's finish our spring cleaning before Mother wakes up. I've done my best, and I hope she'll be happy with our work." Each sibling took turns helping. March was a busy month, with all the winds blowing in turn. Even the gentle south wind returned from her travels to lend a hand. Snow carefully packed away her blankets, while Rain dropped only soft, gentle showers to nourish the budding flowers and fresh green grass. Sunshine spread out her golden rays, warming the earth and bringing life back to the trees. By the time April arrived, the world was transformed. Flowers bloomed, birds sang, and everything sparkled with the promise of spring. Southwind's breezes carried the scent of hyacinths into the palace, and Mother Nature stirred from her slumber. She opened her eyes, yawning and stretching, before looking out the window at the beautiful world. "Oh my, I must have slept longer than I thought," she said with a smile. "Why didn't you wake me sooner?" Sunshine hurried to her mother's side, sitting on her lap. "Mama, I didn't want to disturb you. I tried my best to take care of everything while you rested." Mother Nature listened as Sunshine told her all about the adventures and challenges of the past months. Some of the stories made Mother Nature laugh, while others made her frown. "My dear Sunshine, you've done a wonderful job," Mother Nature said, hugging her daughter tightly. "You kept everything in order, even when things got tough. I'm proud of you. Now call your brothers and sisters. We have a spring festival to prepare." The children gathered together, and soon they were celebrating in the bright, blooming world. April's weather was playful and changeable, with sunshine, rain, and breezes all taking their turns, but the children were happy. Mother Nature was awake once more, and all was right in the world.